Good afternoon and welcome everyone, both you that are online and also here in the studio. My name is Emilia Käck. I work for Scania with Public Affairs, and we welcome you to the panel today that we have named Scania aims to be a leader in the shift for sustainable transport. So with me I have Tony Persson. You are head of battery production.
Yes.
We have Fredrik Allard, Senior Vice President and Head of E-Mobility. We also have Fernanda Marzano. You are Technology Leader for Electrification. And then next to you, we have Andrea Wetterberg, and you are Director of E-Mobility Services. So together today we will discuss a bit on the different parts of electrification. We know that transport is a hard-to-abate sector when it comes to climate change, but Scania is doing a lot when it comes to electrification. So I would like to start with you, Fernanda. Can you tell us a bit more on the development on the electrification side? What do we see? What are the challenges?
The development, a lot of things have been happening now. It's a very exciting moment to work with electrification, and we have plenty of challenges. If you look inside the vehicle, you have challenges. Now we have range for some applications, but still the batteries are very heavy and expensive. If you look outside the vehicle, the charging capabilities like stations and power, they're not available everywhere. And another thing that is a challenge, but can also be seen as an opportunity, right now in this area, things are happening really fast. And that goes from the chemistry in the batteries and their performance to regulations and how customers have different expectations on the vehicles coming. So because of that, we have to not only focus on the research in one component, we have to have this holistic system perspective in our research activities. So we do research on batteries, we do research on charging infrastructure, of course, but we also have to have research looking at how you would manage a fleet of electrical vehicles, where should the charging stations be located to optimize usage of those charging stations, what would be the optimal vehicle configuration, among others.
If we just go down to some of the details there, you were talking about battery chemistries, and right now we're working with lithium-ion. What do you think about the future of battery chemistries? Will we see big changes in the near future, or what do we think?
Yes, we will see a lot of new chemistry coming. As you mentioned, we work now with the lithium-ion family of batteries, and inside this family you already have a lot of chemistry. A lot on electrification, but a lot of needs on the batteries. So we are all looking for more range, more safety, more sustainability, and those needs will drive a lot of change. So we will see, for example, to increase the range, changes on the negative electrode. You go from graphite to silicon to metallic lithium. When you think about sustainability, you try to reduce or remove the cobalt content of the positive electrode. And for safety, you will go from liquid electrolytes to solid electrolytes. And these are only changes within the lithium family of batteries. So you will see other families coming in other chemistries.
Super interesting. And I mean, we know about that circularity is a top priority at Scania. And it's also discussed in many places on second life of batteries. What do you think about that?
Second life of batteries, it's really important for a circular economy perspective. The batteries, they have a lot of emissions from the raw material extraction and their production. And to reduce the climate and environmental impact, you need to extend the usage of those batteries. So putting used batteries in other applications less demanding or as support for the grid is a very necessary thing for circular economy.
Because I guess we can just explain what we mean with second life as well. That is when the batteries have been used for the vehicles, then they can be used for other applications.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah. We also know that this year the Swedish Electric Transpiratory Laboratory will open in Nykvarn, so very close to us. So what do you think that this will mean for us?
Yeah, the CU has an ambition of being a world-leading laboratory for testing, for research and development for e-mobility, and having this very close to Scania will help us to bring a lot of this competence for our company and our products. But of course, the best lab is nothing without the best staff on it. But luckily, we have a long story of collaboration with universities and research centers to help them to develop the right competence and our own right competence. Yes.
We will come back to you a bit later. I turn to you then, Tony. So you are also doing a really exciting project right now with building our new battery assembly plant. What can you tell us a bit more on this build out and this new plant?
Yeah, I will try to. So this has been an ongoing journey for a few years, and we are getting closer to the end of that journey, setting an 18,500 square meter facility in place where we can assemble battery packs for our commercial vehicles. So what we will do is we will receive cells, the smallest part, if you'd like, in the battery, and assemble those into modules. And the module size is like a very large shoebox, if you could imagine that. And we put those boxes then into our battery packs, making that a full battery pack, which we send over to our chassis assembly plant, where we have the final assembly of trucks, and put the battery packs on the truck, making it an electrical vehicle.
That's very, very cool. When is it supposed to be ready?
Yeah, we're very close now to first serial production. It will be somewhere after the summer that we are ready to open the doors and start to really produce batteries.
I think you elaborated a bit on what we're producing, and how about the automation then? I mean, because that's the future as well, to see how that can be done.
Yeah, that's a good question. I should mention also that we are already today producing batteries for our current generation of trucks and buses that are out on the public roads and so on. That is a more manual approach to that assembly, and bringing this very high automized level into the production that we will be able to do with the new production facility. We will be able to increase the volume and the new batteries. We're really looking forward to having that level in the factory shop floor in place.
And how about, because this also is since it's new and automated and we have done it a bit, but how about the staff? I mean, will there be specific needs for competence from the staff? How do you think about that?
Also, great question. I mean, we have, when we are up and running full scale, we will be about 500 people working in this facility. And we will have, first of all, with the electrification requirements, we will have 3 different levels, which is a special education. We will try to retrain as much as possible of current staff at Scania and use their competence of assembling engines or trucks or whatever that is, but also for the engineering staff, where we require highly skilled people with good knowledge both about electrification, but also production, automation, and so on. So competence is something that we're working hard on it, and it's super important to get this up and running.
But would you say that there is a big difference working for the battery assembly plant compared to, for example, as you said, with a combustion engine plant, if you mount that?
There are some difference. Basically, we do have at Scania a very good production system, which we can apply full scale in this factory. But then, of course, comes electrical requirements, and we do have 3 levels where everybody at working at the battery assembly will have level 1 knowledge, which is basic electrical knowledge, and then up to level 3, which is quite specific and special. And that is something new skills that we will need to train.
But do you see that it's hard to get that type of competence?
No, I believe we have a good system that we use to train staff wherever that is needed. What we are looking for is more on the engineering side, competence straight off from university or from nearby in the region.
Thank you. So now we've heard a bit of development and we've heard a bit of production. So let's turn to the next step, sales. Fredrik.
Yes.
So we have quite some challenging goals for 2030. Can you tell us a bit more about those?
Yes, we have challenging goals, but the first step of making it happen is here and now. And I would say that we are doing pretty good right now. We have last year we sold electric solutions in 25 countries. It's still very low numbers, 600 trucks last year, but increasing steadily. And also we launched the next generation, the regional truck that we will start series production of this year, and we see a big interest of that. Right now we have 20% market share in Europe on electrified solutions. So this is the first step towards challenging goal of 2030, where we aim to have 50% of our sales as electric solutions.
Can you tell us a bit more about the product range? What type of trucks are we selling?
Yes, right now we are selling and delivering in the urban segment. So basically, the biggest demand we see in food distribution and in waste handling. That is the two sort of the big markets for that. But very soon we will go into our bigger segments when it comes to regional haulage, and then a year after that we will come with our first long haulage vehicles.
But of course, I mean, when it comes to waste handling and food deliveries, it's also a big advantage that it's not only emission-free, it's also noise-free. I guess that's also an important aspect
when it comes to urban applications, it's really big benefits of that it's quiet, especially when you are driving in the areas with a lot of households. But also a benefit we see that maybe not calculated from the beginning is really the drivers and work environment, that sound and vibration free. So also there we see big benefits.
Would you say that there are big differences if you are to sell an electric truck compared to a combustion engine?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the big difference is that we need to straighten out all the uncertainties to our customers. I mean, our customers, they know every single part of a normal combustion Scania truck. So it's a pretty easy job, you can say, at least when we are delivering. But when it comes to electric solutions, we need to start that journey. And we need to straighten out uncertainties like what will be the total cost of ownership, what will be the residual value, what kind of charging equipment do I need, and will this electric truck actually do the job that I'm used to? And the way we are treating this is that we have the opportunity to use 600,000 connected Scania vehicles. So the first step in the sales process is to take the vehicle data of the specific customers and make an analysis of that. And by that we can support our customer with from their real operation. We can give them what kind of electric vehicle do you need, what kind of charging equipment do you need, and also in what time, when is the best time to change the specific vehicles. After that, of course, the big question is the charging solution as such. We are offering the charging solutions to our customers to help them on this journey.
But there also, I think there are interesting solutions that your team is looking into. I mean, we hear a lot about the grid capacity, and I think that other discussions here also has been on that. But I mean, with energy storage and to really provide the correct level of charging and so forth. What is your thoughts there?
First of all, there is a lot of discussion on public charging, and that is really a big deal, especially when we come into regional and long haulage. But the first step, it's not the public charging, it's actually what the customer needs to do at their home depot. And here we are really taking steps and offering the best kind of charging solution, or best kind, but the charging solution that fits best to our product to make uptime just as important on the electric solution as it is on the combustion solutions.
I mean, it's a new ecosystem that we are building. We need different type of partnerships. I know that also you are heading the Scania pilot partner. Can you tell us a bit more about that? What is that?
Sure. Yeah, Scania pilot partner is actually exactly what the name says. It's a partner for transport companies to do pilots with. And do pilots to test new technologies. For Scania, it's an opportunity to test technologies that are not yet developed, but we believe will be very important in the future. And for the transport companies, an opportunity to test new technologies to see how can they support them to do their business in the best way. And by that, gaining experiences on that. So for us, it's to understand better what should be developed in the future and what are the specific requirements on that. And for the customer, what kind of solution will they seek in the future, and have done some testing on that. So you can say it's a win-win. And specific partnerships that we are into right now is we are testing electric truck solution in very heavy segments, like in the mining and forestry. But we're also testing other charging technologies, like dynamic charging, when you charge when you're driving with an overhead wire. Also doing pilot partners on fuel cell vehicles. So new technologies where we gain real customer experience, not laboratory testing, but real customer experience.
Thank you, Fredrik. I turn then to you, Andrea. Last but not least. We have for some years now seen that we need to kind of expand and explore our offering to customers and solutions. What we say that in addition to now what we've heard about the vehicles and the development, what do you think about the service offering and solutions going forward?
Well, as Fredrik mentioned, we already collect data from 600,000 vehicles, all globally. And on that, we build basically 3 different flavors of services. We have a financial services portfolio for our customers. We do maintenance services for them, different types, both proactive and reactive planning being there. And we do digital services. And what we really see now is that the future, electrified as it is, becomes a little bit more complex for our customers, especially also when it comes to running their operations. We've already heard we do research on infrastructure build-out and where that infrastructure should be placed. Our customers need to decide, can I electrify that route going forward? So there is a lot of more complexity coming into the system, and we really need to help them with that. But we also need to go from what we do today, which is really showing insights based on what has happened in their operations, to actually help them optimize and predict the future, what will happen. And that can sound a little bit abstract, but it's really about being able to make that fast decision. If another transport assignment possibility comes up, will I be able to take that, given weather conditions, the health of my battery, driving time remaining on my driver in Europe, and being able to do that calculation fast and make that decision? That can actually be the difference between a prospering business and one that's not doing so good. So we really need to kind of expand our portfolio with those types of services to support them, being that trusted advisor that we want to be going forward.
So basically, we are using the data that we're gaining from the vehicles to actually help our customers to make wise decisions.
Exactly. Fredrik mentioned how our customers today, they know their business, they know their vehicles, right? And although we all love vehicles, they're really a means to an end, right? Our customers use them to do their business. And today they can do that based on their experience, because it's been the same for many, many years. And the factors kind of affecting whether you can do a certain transport or not haven't been that many. But with electrification, there are so many more complexities coming in. So we really need to step up and make it possible for them to really take that step to electrification too, and be confident that they can continue to run their business in the same way as they could before.
But do you think that that could also mean that you shouldn't think that I should replace this truck that goes this specific route, or with this electric truck? Is it, so is it that level as well with the optimization?
Yes, so with optimization, we go in and we try to help our customers see where does it make sense to actually go electric today. And I mean, given infrastructure build out, and there's a lot of discussions about that, I think I heard some here today as well, right? Of course, not every single route can be replaced. It will in time, but it's really about making those wise choices today and making sure that our customers can run their business.
So I talked a bit here with Fredrik on partnerships as well. What is your, I mean, and we are always talking about that it's important. What does it mean from a service point of view?
So from a service point of view, it's really two things. One, we need to be closer to our customers. Fredrik was mentioning pilot partnering, one really great way of doing that, but also in general, we need to be much, much closer to our customers and understand the demands that are put on them by their customers and by society at large. But it's also, especially in the digital arena, things are changing so fast. It's daunting for our customers. It's daunting for us, I think. And thinking that we can do it all by ourselves is probably not the right way to go. So, I mean, we all believe in diversity, inclusion. Great ideas come from different perspectives and from working together. And that also goes for the services business. So that's something that we really need to continue to build on and even become better at.
So, I mean, we have now talked with every one of you with our different parts. What do you think about cooperation between yourselves? How do you need each other, basically? Who would like to start?
Yeah, I would like to turn that around and say that we cannot succeed without each other. And looking at very interesting but also different parts here, but we need to come together, and I think we do, and we do have good also structure for that. And going forward a little bit here, I was talking about after the summer with the factory, I see that as one part of many parts at Scania for coming together in the cross-function to meet and understand electrification in a different and better way. So,
I don't know, Fernanda, you are kind of the future looking here. I mean, you were talking about before, you're looking 10 years ahead. What do you think about this type of discussions, when you hear what happens with the customers and so forth?
I think it's very important to have exactly this kind of discussion and input from the customer, what they want, what are they expecting, where are they seeing themselves in the future, so that we can develop that what they really want. And from contact with the production as well, we would be kind of customers for them, because then we need to see that the solutions we develop for the customers can be upscaled and so for our customers.
Yeah, and I mean produced in practice as well, I guess.
Exactly.
So we now hear, I mean, this is a big investment on the side of the battery assembly plant. We are investing heavily in development and so forth. So Scania in general is, of course, investing a lot in electrification. So, I mean, what need would you see from policymakers or other? Fredrik?
Yes, basically what it comes down to is, first of all, as you say, I mean, we are really pushing this transformation and doing a lot of investment. We will make electrification happen within the coming few years. And the only small details, an electric truck needs electricity. So we need electricity just as many other industries. But I think it's a golden opportunity for Sweden as a country, because we have a great tradition in the car industry and transport industry, and we also have good conditions to create green electricity, or at least CO2 emission-free electricity. And now we have we have Volvo and Scania as forerunners in the electrification. We know that electrification is happening very early in Sweden. And then with this industry, together with the battery industry that we see is coming up, we have a golden opportunity. But we need to have electricity to make it happen. So the build out of electricity capacity is extremely important, and the good, reasonable price for electricity will also be very important. It could be higher as long as the relation to fossil fuel energy will also be higher. So if diesel goes up, it could diesel price go up. We can still have a higher price of electricity, but we need the capacity. It's really, really important to make it happen.
Andrea, would you like to comment?
I can only agree with what Fredrik is saying, and to add to that, we talked about competences earlier for the battery production, right? And when it comes to developing digital tools, we also need heavy investments in competence. We need data scientists and developers going forward who also understand that the automotive industry is changing. We are not necessarily just about the trucks anymore, but there are so many other things and services and additions that we're doing. And we need to make sure that we have the right competence here around us so that we can continue to grow and to really become world leading in these areas as well.
Okay, a final question now for every one of you. I will just have it in turn here. So it has been a fast development of electrification within the last few years. What would you have thought about electrification 10 years ago? Tony?
Oh, if I had seen this, then I probably wouldn't have been sitting here. But at that time, I was working at our bus chassis assembly in Södertälje, and that was the first, for me, introduction into electrical vehicles or producing electrical vehicles. It came there. I did not foresee this fast-moving trend that we are now in, but for me personally, I've always had a drive for sustainability, and as soon as I got this opportunity to do what I'm doing today, I jumped that train, and well, here we are. I think this is only the beginning that we're seeing now.
Fredrik,
Short. No, I didn't expect it to go this fast, but now seeing it happening in the pass car, we have really come far in the S-curve. It's happening right now, and we know that a few years after it happens in the pass car industry, it will happen in the transport industry. So I didn't expect it this fast, but now the snowball is rolling, and it will just go faster and faster.
Fernanda, what do you say?
Yeah, I work with long-term research, so yes, I expected this to happen, maybe even faster, actually. Just to put the things in context, in 2012, Tesla released the Model S and became a huge hit. And I was in Brazil the same year in São Paulo, and I took an electrical bus. And for me, that was it. That was the future of transportation. It was powerful, silent, and sustainable. And that was it. Definitely, I saw this coming.
Andrea, also.
10 years ago, I wasn't even in the automotive industry. I didn't have a thought about electrification. I worked with software, but now that I'm here, I have to say it's fun to see how fast it goes and how we can do it together.
Thank you, everyone, for participating in this panel, and thank you also for listening in to this. We hope that you have learned some new insights today from Scania. So thank you very much.